Hi! Welcome back to my channel. It is me, it is I, Mutsuke, and this is Mutsuke TV. If you're new to my channel, I'm going to need you to subscribe. Make sure you turn on your post notifications so you never miss a thing. And you know you don't want to because it's so risky. And also make sure that you follow me on my social media platforms. I am Mutsudene on Snapchat and Mutsuke_ on Instagram. As you can see from the title of the video, today I'm going to be talking about the Zim dating pool and my personal experience. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so guys, I'm not gonna lie. When I came, I was hella excited about, dating in Zim, being around, Zim niggas, and that kind of thing. It was really exciting, I can tell you that. And why I'm saying that is because, when I was abroad, I saw a lot of hoiness in Cyprus. The majority of the people there were not trying to date. A lot of the men there were like on the low, on the DL. And I adjusted to that, because I understand everybody must come out or do whatever they want to do when they're ready. You should never force them. So I respected that. However, they only wanted to smash. That was my only issue with, the people I came around that side. And so, yeah, it just made me feel somehow. So by the time I was leaving, I was hella excited to be back home. But what I expected and what I got are two completely different things. I liked the idea of having to be I like the idea of the opportunity to date somebody from here. It just seemed so appealing to be able to date someone I could speak my native tongue with, because sometimes you don't always just want to speak in English, but it's fine. You do what you gotta do when you have to do it. But I was excited about that, someone I could share the same culture with, and yada yada yada. But when I came, a lot of people were trying to hit me up, to be honest, which is exciting. I like attention. You ain't gotta tell me twice, And I remember when I would go out, I would get a lot of looks, like everyone was wondering who's that and stuff like that. And then there were the old people I used to know from before. And unfortunately, they saw me as a trophy than as a person, which was a problem for me. Fresh meat, because this one gets their hair done. This one, isn't afraid to wear crop top hoodies, or, you know what I'm saying? All those kind of things. But at the same time, I was also a bit too loud or too much for some of the people here because they're discreet. But, a lot of those people are also discreet because they're married. And that's the one rule I will never break. I refuse. I am never going to be part of the reason why someone's home broke down. It's a personal thing for me. I have my own reasons, but I definitely don't want to be part of the reason why, a child is now growing up, in a home where the parents are split and having to, jump from one home to the other. So I just told myself that's something I'm never going to do, and I still haven't. But you find that people lie. They lie a lot about their intentions, and I'm just not here for it. I remember I met this dude in early March, and we're gonna call him Joaquin. Low-key, I wonder where I come up with these names, but anyway, I have to protect people's privacy. We're gonna call him Joaquin. I met Joaquin sometime in early March. Very handsome, very, very handsome. Good looking, seemed dark, but when we got in the, because we met at night, when we got in the house, I could see this person wasn't as dark as I thought they were, which was a little bit disappointing for me. Because if you remember, if you've watched all my videos, you would know by now that I'm really into those charcoal black looking, I just think, that's one of the sexiest skin tones ever. So anywho, we hit it off. We got really cozy. We had a bunch of friends over, and it was cool. So one of my friends actually came to the house with my cousin, and the power went out that night, and so we all decided to go drinking outside, and so we did. So I left a candle in my room, and then my friends were like, "You should go put that out because we're hanging outside. You know, accidents can happen. You never know. This is how fires start and stuff like that." So I went and put it out. But also because I had seen this weird energy between Joaquin and my friend that I didn't understand. At first, you know, it was a claim that they had a mutual friend in common and that's how they knew each other. And I said, okay, but still, there was something too cozy about that. Anywho, as I blew out the candle, I walked out of the house quietly because I was just feeling antsy about the whole situation. You know, their energy just seemed a little bit off. And as I walked out the house, I walked onto a release of a kiss or something like that. So now I was like, right, we're gonna talk about this. We gonna talk about this. And I was a little bit lit, hey, and I'm not the nicest people when I'm lit. I'm not trying to, you know, go around the bush. Very direct in a very aggressive way. It's probably something I shouldn't be proud of, but I am because I would like to be just as ballsy when I'm sober. Anywho, my friend walked away, so I spoke to that dude. I was like, I asked you before who this person is to you, and you said you guys had a friend in common. The story changed to we have an ex in common. Actually, no, before he even admitted that, excuse me, he said, I'm sorry, I lied to you. I actually have a boyfriend. And I got pissed. And I'm gonna tell you why. This Negro, this person, excuse me, this person was now admitting to something else. Not what I just caught him doing, but he was now admitting to something else. And that was just not okay with me. But, you know, I decided to sort of low-key keep my cool, sort of, because I was late, so I'm also just a little bit more aggressive. I don't have time to dilly-dally. And so I grabbed his crotch and I started popping his balls. I was like, tell me why you're here. What are you trying to do? You know, because I didn't understand. Long story short, I let it go. I guess in my head I decided, okay, I now know the kind of person I'm dealing with. And so I'm just going to just live in the moment and that's it. At some point we're all hanging out. My cousin then says, this dude tried to kiss me. They had met that same night. So all these things happened within a space of 3 hours. So when he said that, and I was like, what? Again? So I looked at this dude. Now he started shitting himself. Now he doesn't know what lie he's going to cook up. It's the lying in these streets. Yeah. He had no excuse. But I just told myself, this person is leaving and that's it, it's fine. But that's just one example. But you know, from that moment, and I wouldn't actually say necessarily from that moment, because I had noticed with each and every person that I tried to date, or wherever I actually met via, you know, Grindr, or maybe we met because someone introduced us to each other. Zimbabwe is one big bedroom. That's what I can tell you. It is one big bedroom. Maybe not everyone, but the masses. I think we're at our peak, or we're still heading towards the peak of, you know, sexual exploration. And I say that because I know so many people who are from the LGBT community, more than men. I don't know much about the women, but you know, the queer community in Zim is just, it's a lot. It's really a lot to deal with. I think a lot of people are just trying to shout about who they are, what they are, but there's so much more to who you are. You're not just your sexuality. But you know, you find people throwing it in people's faces and things like that. It's really, really a lot to deal with. And you find this is also how we're not really making progress in terms of people actually trying to understand what queer is, how you get to being there. What people don't know is you need to actually calm down and give people time. We need patience and understanding so people can understand. Because if you just throw it in people's faces and you're just like, this is who I am and la di da, nobody actually cares. That's the truth. And they're just going to be, the same as before, or maybe even worse, in terms of how they feel about, homosexuality or anyone, whatever, whoever chooses to be bi, trans, la di da. But whatever. I have met a couple of people. Last week I met somebody. He straight up said, "I'm a hoe, and I don't care. I'm proud." He just said that I know how to go about my life. I'm a hoe in the right places. He's got his dingy niggas that he'll be smashing, and then he's got his other niggas who he dates. And these are people who may be politicians, or just people who are somewhere high up there, and they're usually married. Here's the truth about I don't know about other countries, maybe majority, but I'm going to speak specifically on this one. If you're a politician, it's very unlikely that you're a politician and you're not married. The two just can't, it just doesn't go together. It doesn't happen. So, the masses of these men in high places are married and they're, dipping outside the box and la di da, but they also want to be with somebody who's got something to lose because they have their name to lose, their career and all those things. And it does leave you feeling somehow, because that boy is living his best life, trust on that. But it does leave you feeling somehow like, am I going about this wrong? Because a lot of my friends tell me that I have too many rules and regulations about the kind of person I want to date. But to me, I feel like everyone should have standards, and I've already set mine and I'm okay with them. I don't do old people. And when I say old people, my cutoff point is around, 34, 35. Nothing further than that, because I'm conscious of the fact that you're aging and so am I. Am I still going to be attracted to you as we age? I think of things like that. No old niggas, no dirty men. Bruh, that is just, I can't. I don't understand someone who'll be out here smelling like sweat and you have the guts to say hi. What do you mean? In fact, hi, not even hi. Oh, I don't understand this HIE thing. Or HY and all those things. I just can't. You also find that, women are also unapologetically, just dipping out of their marriage and, getting their side man to do the things that they want to be done because they're not happy. And usually the man is also doing the same thing. So that's just something I can't deal with because, I don't want to be with a thought, if you're mine and I'm yours, it's fantastic. But also, when you dip outside of your relationship or whatever it may be, you must also be aware that if you're willing to do that, the other person is likely doing the same thing. Are you not afraid of STDs and, etc.? A lot of people seem to think, condoms can, prevent so many things, but that's not true. And I don't get, and, especially in Zimbabwe, we're always warned about catching sexually transmitted diseases and stuff like that. So for me, it's very mind-blowing how people are just loosely, coming from that person to that person. And no. Another thing that's a problem for me here is most people seem to not understand that there's a difference between dating and a relationship. And I'm actually going to explain that. Dating is when you're seeing somebody. You're not, in a committed anything with them. You're dating, and it also means that you can date other people. You're getting to know each other. Until you take that step to then being, I like what I like, and I like what I see in you. Let's take it further to a relationship where it's now just you and I, or it may be an open relationship, but all those things need to be discussed. Do not say to me, can we go out? And then the next thing you want to talk to me like I belong to you. I don't belong to anybody. I belong to God. I can tell you that. But I don't belong to anybody. But people seem to feel very entitled. They feel like they can tell you what to do, and they won't even know you for that long, hey, simply because they said they like you and can we go on a date. A date is a date. A relationship is a relationship. Period. Yeah, this topic actually, I'm boiling a little bit inside because I just can't deal with everything I've had to experience here. People are so crazy. Sometimes I feel like it's so much better to just chill with your dog, because that one's loyal. I have not encountered a single person who was actually straightforward, and they had no shady, anything attached to them. Zero. Which is also why I've been single since 2015. I have been with, people and la-di-da, but also because we were not in a relationship. I was well aware of where we are, where we stand. I am someone who does carry my heart on my sleeve, so I did catch feelings for some of them. But until we actually have that conversation, you don't belong to me, I don't belong to you. But there's a certain manner in which we should speak to each other, and also there's certain things we should be able to do regarding the other person. Wait, I think I didn't word that right. There's certain things that I expect and that I don't expect, whether or not, you and I are a thing or not. And I will be specific about those things should we have that conversation so that, later on when it happens, you're not going to be surprised. I spoke of things like this in a video I did a while back about my worst heartbreak, and he did things that I had, discussed with him he cannot do. Those are the kind of things I'm talking about, not just out of the blue, hey, who's this? No, that is not me. I refuse to acknowledge, side pieces, and I certainly won't, and you will never catch me trying to be all up in somebody's face like, hey, who's this? Because the moment you do that, the other person, feels important, and you're the one who's going to look like an idiot. So I just don't do that. I actually really I think 70% of me does already believe that the love of my life is not in this country. Sometimes, I meet people who make me feel like there's hope for Zim men and stuff like that, or Zim queer men or whatever. But they always seem to come with some sort of shady baggage. But then, I'm okay with baggage as long as you're upfront about it. But the unfortunate thing is, it's a trend that, they don't say anything and you have to figure it out on your own. And by the time you do, it's annoying because maybe you actually really liked the person. But I find myself, having more in common with people who are from, other places like Kenya, South Africa, Greece, la-di-da. The people that I can actually say I really felt something for, none of them except for one person was from here. But, even that one person who was from here turned out to be a douchebag. And also because he was on the DL, I was the first. There were all these little complications where, he was now going through his oh my god moment. So it was just a lot, and we couldn't actually, come to a decision, a positive decision when it came to, how we were going to be around each other and other people. So we actually just don't speak anymore. But I just cannot I can't. It's a lot. But I do have a little bit of hope. I do meet people once in a while who are, just amazing people. But they're also trying to figure their own lives out. So I understand that and why they don't know, why they don't know if they want to commit. Are they ready to? Do they understand what they're going, into and stuff like that? But it is what it is. I hate that statement with a passion. I actually cannot believe I said it. I really, really hate that statement, and it be like that. Can't stand those two statements. Just can't. But, yeah. Harare is, not even Harare, is one big bedroom. Because even still, when you meet people online, I've had a lot of people who say to me, hi, where are you? Before they even know what your name is, they want to know where you are so they know, if you're available, if they want to smash. or even some of the names, because it allows you to give yourself a title. They choose to just have names like, I'm not gonna swear. I'm not gonna swear. So, fun now. If you think about it, you'll know what he's talking about. Or it'll say sex now and stuff, or big booty bottom for a hung top, things like that. It's so cringe, man. How are you not afraid of what that person is going to bring, to you? And also, you lose a part of yourself with each person that you choose to be with. That is the truth of it. So for me, I would rather be with somebody that I can actually have a conversation with, which is outside just, sexuality, because your sexuality is only 10% of who you are. There's so much more to who you are. I like to bake. Sometimes I enjoy cooking for my friends and my family. I like to play the beer, things like that. And when you ask them questions about what do they like, what do they do, they always seem to stammer. Because that's not the conversation they were expecting, or most of them are just like, let's go straight to the point. We all know why we're here. I refuse to believe that Grindr is a sex hotspot, and the reason why I'm going to say so is I've only dated properly once, and that was June 2014 to like May 2015, and I met him on Grindr. And he was a beautiful person, and to this day we're really, really good friends. So I refuse to believe that it's just a sex hotspot. I got what I was looking for, so I kind of believe that it's very possible to do it again. And also that platform is a lot easier to use because you cannot go around walking to people and be like, are you queer? Do you do this? Do you know what I'm saying? At least there, that everyone who's there is kind of the same. They're from the same community. There we go. They're from the same community, so it's a lot easier to communicate and, skip the awkwardness and stuff like that. But people are sex hungry here, and it's just a bit much for me. It really is. And I'm just not here for it. I'm just not. And that's okay. I feel like the right person will come when the time comes, when the time is right. And that's just how it is. So until then, I'm gonna keep to myself, hang out with my friends, and do me. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you did, please do make sure that you subscribe, make sure you turn on your post notifications, and until next time, ciao!